Hello and welcome to the Introduction to SkillUp PA Metrix Learning. My name is Carrie Toomey. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania recently decided to launch SkillUp Pennsylvania to train and expand opportunities for Pennsylvanians. The reason for doing this is to expand the net, to build on offerings that are currently available to the residents of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania without burdening existing Department of Labor and Industry staff or local Workforce Development Board staff by offering this virtual option. The intent of this is to prepare Pennsylvanians to gain skills needed for the jobs that exist today and in the future. So just a little bit about us, about New York Wired for Education. Metrix Learning is our tool that was created in 2008 during the last recession. We created it working with the New York Department of Labor, and since then it's been expanded and enhanced to meet the needs of workforce development boards and departments of labor and other organizations across the country. So over 250,000 learners have used this tool since it was launched originally in 2008 with over 2.3 million training hours. It's used currently across 17 states, and it is customized for different audiences that may be interested in using it. We currently have statewide clients, in addition to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, in the state of Texas, which has almost 80,000 registered users, the state of Connecticut with over 34,000 registered users, state of New Jersey with over 18,000 registered users, and the state of Oklahoma with almost 2,000 registered users. We also currently work with 64 workforce development boards across the United States, and that number will increase to almost 120 by the end of 2021. Two boards we currently work with in Pennsylvania are Lancaster and Lackawanna, where Metrix access is extended to almost 25 community partners. About 2,800 Pennsylvanians are already currently registered Metrix Learning users. Finally, we are integrated with the Geographic Solutions Virtual One-Stop, so that means that we are able to send information back and forth as we progress and enhance this tool over time. So to explain a bit about Metrix Learning, this platform is our learning management system. It was created taking into account the rules and requirements for WIOA. So the reporting allows us to report down to the reportable's individual minutes spent learning. As I said earlier, it's integrated with GSI, with Geographic Solutions Virtual One-Stop. There's over 6,000 courses that are in Metrix Learning available, everything from industry, technical, process, and soft skills. These courses are available in Spanish and Chinese, and about 85% of them are mobile compatible. We have customized Metrix Learning LMS to meet the needs of Pennsylvania. So, for example, the Find a Job feature will allow a user to go to the Pennsylvania Career Link job seekers page. Within the tool, there are 10 career pathways. So these are industry pathways that align with over 200 in-demand occupations. And with that, it shows you the skills that are needed for those occupations, and you have the ability to rate your own skills and then determine where there are skill gaps and how to remediate them with courses within Metrix Learning. There's also training and preparation, including pre-tests for over 130 industry certifications. And then finally, there is a game-based learning mobile application. So in terms of benefits for Pennsylvanians, the main benefits are the volume of courses that are available to Pennsylvanians for their licenses. So each license is set up for 6 months of use. It can be renewed at the end of 6 months if the learner is interested in continuing past those initial 6 months. It's free to them, so there's no cost to take any of the courses within Metrix Learning, and they're available 24/7. So whenever somebody is interested in taking training, that is available to them. And this is really important for people that have schedules that don't allow them to attend traditional classroom courses, maybe caregivers, so they are not available during the times when somebody is offering a classroom training to leave the home. Or maybe they're doing this as in nights and weekends to try to change careers or to add on to their existing skills. We take into account what skills are needed by local employers, and that's why we work with the local workforce boards to determine if there's specific clusters of courses that will help prepare for the most in-demand school skills in that area. And we have access to those recognized industry certification prep courses and practice exams. Our career pathways tools allows you to determine what skills you have versus what skills are needed for the occupations that you're interested in. And we have live technical support through our support desk that's available through email and phone Monday through Friday. And they certainly do check those messages when they get back into work after the weekend too. So there's also the ability to submit support tickets through the tool. So the benefits are really important for us to track and be able to share out. So the measurable benefits and the data that's available allow us to see that our Metrix Learning customers perform 15 to 20% better in entered employment, earned salary, wage, and retention. So some examples are for our statewide program in Texas, 91% felt Metrix Learning helped them gain skills, and 87% said it was easy to use. In New York, over a 10-year period, 70% of Metrix Learning customers were employed within a year after receiving workforce services through Metrix Learning. We are able to see an increase in certifications earned in a cost-effective manner and increase the overall number of people served. So local SkillUp portals will be available for each of the local workforce development boards. Unlike in 2008 when Metrix Learning was created, when there was 8 job seekers for every job opening, today there's less than 1 job seeker for each opening in 2021. SkillUp was created to address the challenge of the mismatch of existing skills to the skills in demand in a location. So there's already 25 local partners in Pennsylvania are using SkillUp portals in Lancaster and Lackawanna. These partners could be things like industry partners, such as local employers, associations, chambers, community partners like libraries, career centers, and community-based organizations, educational partners like K-12, community college, vocational or trade schools, or policymakers like a local city or county. As I mentioned earlier, we do have a game-based learning mobile application. This is something that we launched in February of 2021. We originally launched as a pilot for the state of Texas and have since expanded. So in the 8 months since this has been launched, we've seen that people have downloaded the application and successfully registered, and we've been measuring the use of the games as well as the amount of time people have spent playing games and seen that that number has progressively gone up over time. As I said earlier, data is very important to us to be able to measure our results. So we did a customer satisfaction survey several months after this launched and found that 91% of people enjoyed the game-based learning and 93% of people would recommend it to a peer. We also saw that 94% of people were interested in taking training using game-based learning towards industry certifications or credentials. And we thought this was something that was really interesting as we built out other tools and services this year. So one thing that we're launching and will be available to Pennsylvania is new digital SkillUp badges. So these are a mix of games and Metrix Learning courses. We have them planned for 6 areas that are in demand across the nation: digital literacy, food service, hostess, hospitality front desk, customer service representative, and entry-level job readiness. So somebody could take one or many tracks to complete digital badges. Each one takes 12 to 20 hours depending on the topic. And for workforce boards that are interested in using them, we ask that they work with their local chamber of commerce so that local businesses recognize and understand what these SkillUp digital badges are, what it took for them to complete them, and if they see them on someone's resume, they would have an understanding of what that is. Now, certainly we don't expect every employer would know what it is immediately, but if they didn't know, it would be a good talking point for that candidate that's interviewing to talk about what they learned and what they accomplished by getting that digital badge. So in terms of benefits and expectations for the Department of Labor and Industry and local workforce development board staff, the main benefits will require some work from each group to be able to receive those benefits. So for example, a benefit is a local SkillUp portal with unlimited usage for partners. However, the expectation is that each workforce board identifies at least 3 partners that we will train to use this portal. And that they include a link to the SkillUp portal on their website so that people can find it. Another benefit is dashboards and administrative reports. These are available to trained Metrix admins and the ability to create custom clusters based on local demands. So we asked that each workforce board identify at least 2 Metrix admins per site and that they promote and recommend Metrix Learning to their customers, to their partners. So we're targeting for each site to have between 1,000 and 2,000 registered users for each board. There's access to online tools for the Metrix admins as well. So 3 tools that I will talk through in a few minutes: a certification demand analysis that allows you to see the number of top certification job openings in that area and the average salary; an employer assessment screening, where a candidate for an interview or a position can be sent a series of assessments prior to the extension of that interview offer or job offer to see how their skills match with the skill level needed and have the ability to remediate if they do not pass those assessments. And finally, an ITA cost avoidance pre-screening that allows the local workforce board who has received a request for ITA funding to send a series of assessments to that job seeker, that customer. They can see, based on the assessment scores and completion, if that person would be a good candidate for ITA funding at this time, or if additional Metrix Learning courses should be provided to them in order to increase skills, improve their score on the assessment, and then potentially receive the ITA funding in the future. And we're asking that local workforce boards use at least 2 of these 3 tools. We have the ability to send behavioral emails to increase adoption and engagement to registered Metrix Learning users. This tells them more about the features that are available within Metrix Learning, such as preparation for certifications, the career pathways, game-based learning. And we also have the ability for customers who opt in to provide text messaging. So text messaging about key features or updates about new things that are available within the tool. So we're asking that workforce boards consider using one or both of these marketing tools to promote this feature to local job seekers. And then finally, the New York Wired for Education team provides consulting and annual goal setting with showing progress that's been made on a monthly basis that's tracked within our customer relationship management tool. And so we ask that each board have meetings with us to agree to goals, participate in the meetings about their local SkillUp launch to get that off the ground, and then potentially take action throughout the year as needed to meet those targets that have been agreed to in the goal setting discussions. So the timeline of what's to come. Currently, we are conducting training. This is virtual training for the staff. There will be refresher and new hire sessions conducted periodically as needed for people that either join the organization or are new to their role if they have a new lateral move or take on additional responsibilities. The launch period will start on August 13th, and Metrix Learning and SkillUp PA will be available shortly after that. Throughout August and September, we'll be reaching out to UI claimants to make sure that they're aware of this tool, that they'll have access to it, and to promote and encourage registration. And then beginning in October, we will be launching SkillUp portals with the remaining 20 local workforce development boards so that everybody has a SkillUp portal across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Then through the remainder of this year, we'll provide virtual training for the local partners and make sure that those SkillUp boards are all in place and ready to go to serve Pennsylvanians. And finally, starting in February 2022, we will conduct our first customer satisfaction survey to determine if there's ways that we can enhance and improve this experience for Pennsylvanians. Now I'm going to go into a demonstration of Metrix Learning so that you all can see what is available within the tool. People that are employed by the Department of Labor and Industry, as well as the local workforce boards, will have the opportunity to have access to Metrix Learning as well. And there's a lot of tutorials that are available, but I wanted to go through a demonstration and talk through some of the common features. So I'm already logged in, and I'm logged in using an admin account. So for everybody that logs in, this is the landing page that I will get to when they're logged into Metrix Learning. At the very top of the page, you will see that the next time there's a Q&A webinar. These webinars are held on a regular basis. They're typically held on Wednesdays. And so these Q&A webinars are a chance for customers or admins to dial in and ask questions or receive information about the tool and updates. They also can ask for best practices and tips and tricks. So these webinars are available each week, and you'll always be able to see at the top of Metrix Learning when the next scheduled webinar is, and be able to access the webinar directly from that link. So then moving down to the left side of the page, as I said, this is an admin account. So where you see the green box that says, "Hi, Jennifer Z," typically you would see how many days are left in your license. So each license is set up as a 6-month license initially with the ability to renew the license if desired. It will show how many days are left on the license and when the license expires. So typically that would be 6 months or less shown. As I said, this is an admin account, so it's a little bit different. Right below that, you'll see progress. So all time and then for the current year, how many courses you've started, how many courses you've finished, and how many hours you've spent completing training. You'll also be able to, just below that, jump to courses that are on your plan or add additional courses. Then moving to the center of the screen, there's 3 main things that are listed here. So career pathways is the first one. So this is what you may do when you start your time within Metrix Learning to identify what skills you currently have and what skills you need. So I'm click that and I'm going to go to select an industry and a pathway. So the industry I'm going to select, this is the 10 career pathways that I mentioned earlier. The industry that I'm going to select for this is government and public sector, and I'm going to pick a program manager. So here, if I wasn't sure where to go, I could also click Explore Pathway Map and see what's available. So going back, I'm going to then rate my own skills. So we're asking people to rate at least 25 skills. The definition of what the ratings are is at the top here. So you're able to see how you could consider your skill rating. And then you're rating yourself based on these skills. So I may say that decision making is something that I would like to, rate myself on for this specific industry and occupation that I picked. It's saying that it's requiring at least an 80. I'm going to say that perhaps I have an intermediate knowledge. I feel like I've used this skill. I kind of feel comfortable, but I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a master or have an advanced knowledge where I could train someone else or use it every day. Another one that I'm going to say is maybe my personal skills. So I'm going to say, this is something I do use every day. I work with people each day and I'm very willing to work. So I'm going to say I'm advanced here. I would not necessarily say I could teach this to someone else, but I would consider myself fairly advanced. So from here, if I go back to the pathway, if I scroll down, this will show me here how my skills compare to the skills that are needed for this specific industry that I picked, which is a program manager for government or public sector. So anything that's blue is the skill that's required. Anything that's red is a gap. So either I didn't rate myself or my rating is below what's recommended or needed for this specific occupation. And anything that's green is an overage. So I'm overskilled compared to what's needed for this occupation. At this point, I could set a goal date for myself. So when do I want to have completed any training for this specific occupation? So I could set a date for myself, and that will tell me how much training I need to take to meet that date. So it says I should do approximately 3 hours per week to meet that date. And as I continue scrolling down, I can see by area what courses might be needed to address that skill gap. So if I see here for this first one, academic skills, it says I do have a skill gap, and that these are the specific courses that could help me achieve remediation for that skill gap. So I can launch a course if it's already on my plan, or if it's not currently on my plan, I can add it to my plan from this page. So I can go through and see, are these things that I want to work on to address that skill gap, or do I feel like I'm pretty good in that area, such as personal skills where I exceed the skill, so I may not want to add those courses to my plan or launch those courses because I already feel like I'm a pretty good candidate for that based on my current skill levels. So you can continue to go through, add courses to your plan, or launch directly from this page if you've already added them. Focusing, of course, on where there's a skill gap and paying less attention to where you've exceeded the skill. So going back up to the top, beyond the Career Pathways tool, there's also the catalog. So I can browse the catalog and search for courses based on a specific keyword or topic that I'm interested in learning more about. So I also can take into account if I only have a certain amount of time. So perhaps I know I only have an hour. So maybe I'm looking for courses that take an hour or less. And perhaps I would like to take training on PowerPoint. So I am assuming because Perhaps I want to go into a job doing program management that I'm going to have to prepare presentations. And if this is a skill I feel like I don't have, this would allow me to go through and find out how I could improve my skills in that area. So scrolling through, I can look now, again, this is filtered then on courses that are an hour or less. So I can select one. I can see information about the training course. I can see how long it takes. So this says that this will take 58 minutes. It will give me a description of the course, tell me what categories it falls into, and then I can decide if I want to add this to my plan by clicking here. So then I'll see, yes, this is something I'm interested in, and I submit, and then it is added to my plan. So in addition to that, for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, this Find a Job will direct to the Pennsylvania Career Links website, and it will show information for job seekers there. So this has been customized for Pennsylvania. So that is standard. It works just like it would work if you had navigated directly to the Pennsylvania Career Links site. Recent activity at the bottom shows courses that I've started or not started that are part of my plan. And then I'm going to go to my plan. So that will allow me to see these are courses that I've added to my plan. If I look through here, and see, so anything with a briefcase is a SkillSoft course. The status shows if it's been passed or not, if it's something I've already completed. As I continue to look down, in addition to the green briefcase, I may see some icons that are an orange magnifying glass. So these are assessments. So these are assessments that I could launch here and see that I may want to complete that assessment and receive a score. And it will show me here if I passed or failed. In addition to this, if I have completed a course and I want to see, for example, courses that I've completed and look at the certificates of completion, I can look at them this way. I can also print them. I can see a report of training that I've completed. So as I said earlier, this is an admin account. So there's probably a little bit more here than the average person, what they've completed, but anybody can navigate to their report and then see how they see information about what they've completed and decide if they want to look into downloading their certificate of completion or viewing it. So everything that's listed here will be available, the report of training that's been completed. Additionally, within Metrix Learning outside of my plan, under career, there's the ability to see what's available to you if you're thinking of changing careers or you want to find out what careers are available to you. So we've got a Career Pathway Explorer. We also have job opportunities by county that shows you, across the United States, what counties have specific jobs. So I just can click on any of them within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and then it will show me information about available jobs. So this is linked to Indeed.com. This is not through the Pennsylvania Career Links, but this is a way of seeing what's available, because you could also look at other counties if you were considering making a move at some point in the future and wanted to see what was available in other parts of the country. So what are the most in-demand jobs? There's also, as I mentioned earlier, there's training to prepare you for industry certifications. So here you would see the certification tracks that are available and what it would take to complete the prep for those tracks. Many of the industry certifications also have test prep, so practice exams that you'd be able to take if you were interested in sitting for one of the certification exams. So just completing all the training for it is not enough. You would actually need to complete that certification exam at the end to be certified in this area, but all the training and test prep where applicable is included for free at no cost to the customer. So they could take all the courses that are needed for any of these certifications. And as you see, these are very popular industry certifications. Many of them are industry certifications that don't require necessarily having a 4-year degree or an advanced degree. So this is a great way to move up in your career by taking the training and preparation and then sitting for these exams. The last thing I wanted to show was information about how to access help within Metrix Learning. So with the help dropdown at the top, there's a whole series of tutorials. This will kind of teach you everything you need to know about using Metrix Learning. And there's tutorials that are available in English and in Spanish. There's also the ability to change your language if you're looking for a different language. This is an administrator account, as I said, so you'll also see tutorials here that are listed for administrators. If you're not an administrator, you may not see those additional tutorials. You may also not see the additional administrator options under that administrator dropdown. There's an FAQ section under help as well. It's a great place to start if you're not really sure what to do. How do you change your password? How do you change dates? How do you find more courses? That's all in there. So we encourage people to check out those FAQs. And then one other place to look is for support. So as mentioned earlier, we always have the information at the top about the Q&A webinars, but beyond that, there's links to the tutorials, a knowledge base of common problems and how to address those problems, and then finally how to contact staff that are manning the support desk, as well as creating a new support ticket. So there's a lot of information here. We definitely encourage people to check this out and see what's available in terms of support. But at the same time, if you do need help, we very much welcome and encourage you to contact our support desk through email or phone. We're happy to help any way that we can. So those are the main things to know about navigating within Metrix Learning. The thing that people will spend most of their time in is actually launching and completing courses. So those are all launched from either my plan or from some of the jump off points on that homepage. But as you'll see, these are courses that are typically delivered through Skillsoft. These are interactive courses, typically with short videos. There are typically pre-tests at the beginning, but once you jump into it, you can turn on closed captions if that's something you're interested in. You can also go back if you've learned something but you're not really sure what was said. So when we go through these courses, you'll have the ability to really see.
As a technical trainer, as a programmer.
You'll be able to see what is available. So through these videos, you can jump through the table of contents if you want to fast forward to another topic within the course, as well as see your completion status and a course test. So these all do require having the pop-up blockers disabled so that you can have the course actually pop up. So that's one thing that we encourage people to look at if they are running into problems. But these courses all run typically through a pop-up window, and like I said, they typically have videos, and then they're interactive where you're doing little assessments or taking the course test at the end, maybe doing a matching or an activity within it. So once you've completed one Skillsoft course within Metrix Learning, you'll see that there's a lot of similarity between the ways that they run. And then at the end, we make sure that people know that they have to save and exit to complete the course so that it communicates back to Metrix Learning and provides the score and updates the status. So that's what I wanted to show in the demo today. Thank you very much for watching this. If you do have any questions, please do contact our support team. We're happy to help. And I hope that you get a lot of benefits and use out of Metrix Learning. Thanks and have a great day.